Hey everyone, Chris Perello here, chrisperello.com. And in this image, what we're going to do, we have two images. I'm going to take the person out of this image and we are going to place them in this image. We're going to use this as the background. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. Alright, well, the first thing that you want to do is if you're getting an image off of the internet, you have to make sure that the resolution is fairly high, or as high as the original image. So this image right here, if you look down here, it's 22.8. Okay. If you come over here to the next image, you see it's 22.9. So they're basically the same. This is a 5, I believe it was a 5 megapixel, 5 megabyte file, and this one is pretty much the same. So that's the first thing you want to do. You want to make sure that your image size will match the image that your main image that you're going to be using. If not, when you go to print, it may not look so bad if you post it online, but if you're going to print, you're going to have issues, and that's something that you don't want. So with that being said, the first thing you want to do is very simple. Come over here to your layer and you want to unlock it. Always unlock your layer when you're gonna mess with it. Next thing that you want to do, this is always good practice. I don't do it all the time, but I should, is you always make a duplicate layer. Of course, this means that if you mess up your layer that you're working on, you have your original layer that you can go back to. Let's just go ahead and hide that one because we're not going to use it. Okay, so we have our duplicate layer here. Now the first thing that you want to do is you want to cut out the person out of this image, and you're going to want to place them in this image. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that first. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to grab your quick selection tool. And let's just go around the image. And sometimes it does that. And let's select everything except for the person. So once we got the image selected, we're going to want to refine edge this image. And what that's going to do is it's going to help us keep all the hair. For instance, if you zoom in, all these loose strands over here, it's going to help you retain that, so it doesn't look like it's been chopped off, and it makes it look more natural. So that's what we're going to do now. In order to do that, come up here to your menu and you click on select, and then you click inverse. What this does is it selects the person and not the background. This is just the way I like to do it. Next thing that you want to do is click refine edge, and this is where the magic happens. And make sure smart radius is checked. I usually set it to about 0.3. And I also give it a little bit of feathering. Not that much. Depends on the image. Depending on the image, that's you don't want to feather it too much. Smooth it a little bit. Alright, so what you want to do next is let's go ahead and zoom in. What you want to do is you just want to go around the edges, and you just want to slowly go around the edges. You know, I'm wondering if maybe the pen tool would have been better for this project. We can make it work with this. Okay, that's fine. Sometimes it's a little bit of a hassle with the hair because you want to make it look natural, but then you have, all right, we'll see what that looks like. And just go around the rest of the image. You know what? I don't like this right here. You can see that. So I think I'm just going to, there we go. I just shift that. I went to shift edge and I just minused it a little bit. And that actually took care of the issue. Alright, so now that we pretty much got the hair taken care of, everything else can get done later. So let's just go ahead and click OK. Select inverse. Make sure you have your arrow tool selected. Delete. Command or Control D to deselect. And now the background is gone from that image. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a new layer, put that underneath the copy. I'm going to grab my paint bucket tool and just throw a white background in there. This will make it easier for me to see all the edges. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to click on the copy and I'm going to make a layer mask. And what the layer mask is going to allow me to do is to clean up all this green right here that you see from the background, all this over here. I'm going to clean this up here, which I forgot to get before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and grab my brush tool. Make sure black is set as my foreground color, because that's what that's going to do is it's going to erase. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. Come up to the hair. I like to use a soft brush. You don't really want to use a hard brush on people. Hard brushes are good for anything other than people. I mean, it really depends on what you're going to use it for, but I don't like to use a hard brush on people because people don't have hard edges. So let's just go ahead and clean this up. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab my lasso tool. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around this area right here. Alright, and now I'm going to drag it over here. So what I just did is I used the lasso tool. I made a circle around this area that matched it. Alright, and then what you do, you just drag it over to another section of the hair that will sort of match it, and you Command or Control C to copy it, and then Command or Control V to paste it. And what it did is just made another layer, so you can just bring that over here and sort of match it up. And then what you can do is you can use your blur tool. Just go around the edges to make it look more natural, and just blur this section also. And actually I'm going to go ahead and grab a little bit more. This section right here. Let's move that over. Command C to copy, Command V to paste. Grab that, make sure you got that layer selected. Just bring that over here like so. Then use the blur tool to blend it in. Also, what you can do is you just grab your clone stamp tool, select an area nearby. Of course, make sure that the area is selected. And this works also. Just like so. Okay. And there, that covered it up. You won't notice it just by looking at it. No one ever will. It's the beauty of Photoshop. If you don't know what you're looking for, you'll never see it. Okay? That looks pretty natural, I'd say. Okay? Alright, so that side is done. This side doesn't look too bad. Let's go ahead and stay with the clone stamp tool and clean this up right here a little bit. Doesn't look too bad there. Okay? So overall that looks okay. Let me go back to my layer mask and just clean this up. Where'd it go? Just clean this up right here a little bit. Okay? Just go around the whole image. Just clean it up. Ah, and then we got this section right here. It definitely needs to get cleaned up. Alright, so that's quick and dirty, but it's done. Alright, so pretty much it's done. Okay? So now, what I want to do is I'm going to flatten this image. Okay, so I need those layers. I don't need the background layer, because that was just to see what I was doing, so I don't need that. I'm going to merge these layers together. I'm going to take this layer right here and I'm going to move it over into this. Now when you do this, you just have your arrow tool selected, grab the image, hold it over the other image, and just drag it in. Now of course it doesn't look proportional. It just looks odd. So what you want to do is you want to make it a smart object. So convert to smart object. So make sure if you're going to resize your image, you turn it into a smart object. You can reduce the image. If you don't like it, you can bring it back up to the original size. Obviously, if you make it bigger than the original size, it's going to start to get pixelated and it's not going to look good. So you always want to make sure that when you're going to resize a raster-based image, you turn it into a smart object. So what we're going to do is, now that that's a smart object, I'm going to hit Command T. That opens up my transform tool. You always hold down Shift when you're going to adjust the size to keep it proportional. So you just bring it down like so, and just move it to where you want it to go. So that's pretty much how you take an image from one picture and go ahead and put it into another. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys learned something. It's been a while since I made a video, so it's I'm trying to get back into it. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'll try and answer them as best I can. I'm sorry if the video was not up to par. I know I've made better videos, but this one, like I said, I'm getting back into it now, and I haven't done a video in a little while. Again, I apologize for that. They will get better again as time goes on, but if you have any questions, please, please, please email me with any questions, and I will try and get back to you as soon as I can. All right, thanks for watching.